Okay, that really was not how I wanted to spend yesterday. I was all set to go and woke up in the middle of the night and just felt super queasy, like I was going to throw up at any time. Kind of like when I had Noro a couple of months ago. And then the next morning I was feeling so bad. I was trying to get out of here, either hike or to switch to a cheaper hotel, and I just couldn't. Ended up spending a good chunk of the day in bed and then feeling better towards the evening. I was able to eat. And so now I'm getting the hell out of Steamboat Springs. Pretty sure I have officially gotten all the value I can out of this massively overpriced hotel room. I will admit I am not overly confident in my ability to get a hitch out of town, but let's see how this goes. And I got picked up by a friendly hunter, and I am back where I got picked up a couple of days ago. And I am road walking for a while. This is the red line of the CDT. It just routes along the road here. So as far as yesterday, that was really frustrating. I don't think it was the water. I suspect it was something I ate. I grabbed a couple of things out of the deli at that store that I resupplied that I think might have been a little questionable. It's hard to tell. It is really frustrating losing a day when I've been pushing so hard trying to make up time, but can't obsess about that stuff too much. So I have my food to get to Grand Lake, and I am now continuing the race to Southern Colorado. I was so frustrated at being stuck, at having to spend the extra money on a hotel, having to take a zero I didn't want, that I had to channel that into some self-destructive behavior, which was I gambled and I upgraded my phone to iOS 16. Nothing like being on the bleeding edge and dealing with all that. I didn't leave super early today because expensive hotel, I wanted to get my full value out of it, so I was eating breakfast and getting as much coffee as I could. Looking ahead, I was too sick to do much yesterday. Looks like I was going to do Grand Lake in 96 miles. I pick up a package in Grand Lake, supplement, and then it's off to Breckenridge. From Breckenridge, I pushed to Twin Lake for a resupply, and then after that, Twin Lake to Monarch Pass, where I'll actually be within range of my parents who live in an area south of Colorado Springs. So they're probably going to come out and meet me, and we'll go have dinner, and they'll be able to drive me in for a resupply and then get me back to the trail. They used to live in Sacramento, but by the time I did the PCT, they had already moved. So this is the first time they're going to get to see me while I'm on trail, which should be nice. Looking ahead, I am hoping to do Gray's Peak, which is the high point of the trail. So that'll depend on weather. And also realistically, I like to climb mountains. So if I'm gonna come back and do anything out here, you know, it would be one of the peaks. And then my real hope is that I don't have to take the Creed shortcut to avoid a good chunk of the San Juans. But it's gonna be around end of September, early October, so we'll just have to see. As much as I have goals of what I want to do, I'm also realistic, and I'm not going to get myself into a situation where I end up having to, you know, camp out in a porta potty or get my butt rescued out of the wilderness. Looks really bad when, you know, I got students from my wilderness class that follow me. When I was on the PCT and I was rushing towards Hart's Pass, trying to beat the snow at the end of September, I remember running into some people that were saying, oh no, they were going to try and finish mid-October there. They knew it was going to snow, but they were just going to get snowshoes. And that did not work out for them. There are some terrain that is just not real safe to do. And, you know, to get to Hart's Pass, you're actually doing some steep slopes and things that would be an avalanche risk. End of the day, I'm a realist. And if I end up having to do the Creed cutoff because it's the only, you know, safe thing to do, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm just not going to skip anything that I don't have to. I actually spent some time this morning trying to find other examples of, you know, how late people were able to be at what point. And that has just reinforced that it's really hard to find that information for the CDT. I found some interesting numbers as far as like how many people do the CDT, what percentage of people admit to, you know, skipping sections, very, very high. But I really don't know. If it's a late winter, I'm good. If it's an early winter, I could be screwed regardless. Look at what's happening to everybody on the PCT this year. So, one day at a time. I kind of figure once I get to New Mexico, I should be good. It'll be cold, but I'm not really committed to anything back in Southern California until December. So I should be able to do what I can do down there. I would really like to be able to do the Black Hills instead of the Gila River, but I don't know what's going to be open due to the fire closures down there. I don't intend to really slow down once I get to New Mexico, but I will relax quite a bit once I don't have Southern Colorado mountains looming over me. I will say, other than my gut feeling a little squirrely, man, it feels better after some town food and a shower. That's why I say the AT has actually been the easiest of the 3 big trails, because there's town stops everywhere. You're never in a section where you can't get out if something goes wrong or you just decide, oh, I want to go in and get a shower. You know, the advantage of the last couple of big food carries is 4 days of food on my back and 2.5 liters of water. Feels gloriously good. So far I've said no to 2 offers to skip me past this road section to the next bit of trail. But I'd be cheating. For the record, I have said no to 0 offers of soda or Gatorade. Nobody offers that out here. So per the hunter that gave me a ride, rabbit ears are those rocks in the background. Makes sense. On the plus side, I'm doing 3.5, 4 miles an hour. Unfortunately, I would really like to be listening to my audiobook, but the constant traffic's just too loud when it goes by. So I'm stuck listening to music. All the elk are hiding from the hunters, but haven't seen deer. And yeehaw, 9 miles later, off of the paved road at least. National forest covered in cow dung. That creek I just filtered out of had a distinct taste of cow to it. And also this weather has a distinct feeling of, yeah, it may storm on me. I'm basically climbing all afternoon. All the hunter camps up here are kind of major emplacements. Okay, that just made up for every car that ever drove past me on this road. Guy had a sign out about water, so I stopped and I thanked him. Came up steak and cheese sandwich and a ginger ale. I am so happy right now. Ironically, sandwiches are one of those rare treats that always taste amazing. I just rarely get them out here. So that put a spring in my step, and I chatted with him for 20-30 minutes. I've got a spring in about 4 miles that's going to be my evening fill up, and then we'll see how the weather's going. I'd like to get as far as I can, but if all hell's gonna break loose here, I'd rather be in my tent. It does look like it's bow and muzzleloader season. There was one shot that went off a little ways back there. That guy was really nice. He found out about the trail when some hikers came through, and he said it was just a highlight of his hunt, getting to meet people. So he had a little sign out, left water out, some fruit, things like that. And those are the fun interactions. I really enjoyed those. Not to mention, considering I'm rarely, if ever, seeing other hikers these days, it's nice to chat with people. I keep hearing from random people and seeing gut hook comments about there being moose around. So far, no luck. Hope I see some. Taters would be really excited if I get pictures and video of them. Run into more hunters up here. Should actually be up near 11K tonight. It's been sprinkling off and on. So it has started sprinkling enough that I put rain gear on, but should have water here at the bottom of the hill. And then I can start looking for a camp. And this is my water for the night. I happened to see a comment and found a nice little site not too far away. There's obviously a hunter here fairly recently because there's a dry patch of ground. I'm just happy to be back on the trail. I really enjoyed the hotel, but it just makes me happy crawling into the tent at the end of the day. You know, I get to cook my food, watch my shows, be warm in my sleeping bag, have my coffee in the morning. One of the high points of the day. Home sweet home for the night.